ES Audio.
Hi, I'm Rochelle Travers, and this is the Evening Standard's Tech and Science Daily. Coming up, cosmic concrete to build houses on Mars. Now, let's get into it. ChatGPT-style artificial intelligence is coming to Microsoft 365. The technology behind the world's most talked about AI system will be embedded into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Outlook. Named Copilot, some of its functions include summarizing the key points of a conversation held on Teams, creating graphs of data on Excel, and analyzing long emails as well as documents. The firm said that although the software would sometimes make mistakes, it will fundamentally change the way we work. A gene mutation which increases the risk of breast and ovarian cancer has been linked to Orkney Islands.
Over many years, I identified a really large family with an alteration in a gene called BRCA1, which causes a very high risk of breast and ovarian cancer in women.
That's Zosha Międza-Brodska, Professor of Medical Genetics at the University of Aberdeen and Director of the NHS North of Scotland Genetics Service.
We've then gone on and looked at the frequency of that gene variant in the wider population of Orkney and found that 1% of people with Orcadian grandparents have that gene alteration. Moreover, the majority of those have a grandparent from Westray.
Now planning is underway for a trial scheme, organised by NHS Grampian and funded by cancer charity Friends of Anchor, which will offer testing for the gene variant to anyone living on the small Scottish island with a Westray-born grandparent, regardless of a family history of the diseases. However, Zosha is keen to put this into perspective for people.
If you have a Westray grandparent, however, the chance of you actually having this alteration is only around 1 to 2%. It's not something to be worrying about just right now, because the chances of this being for you are still not that high. However, it's high enough that we should be setting up a system so that we can offer you a test.
For more information, you can visit the NHS Grampians website via a link in our show notes. Scientists have invented a type of cosmic concrete which could one day be used to build houses on the Moon and Mars. Made with extraterrestrial dust, Starcrete has twice the strength of ordinary concrete and bypasses the need to transport costly construction materials to off-world locations. Created by a team from the University of Manchester, it uses potato starch and a pinch of salt in order to bind the simulated Martian dust, things commonly used during space missions. A report from Microsoft suggests that Russia is preparing for a renewed cyberwar against Ukraine. The tech giant's cybersecurity research and analyst team outlined a series of discoveries about how Russian hackers have operated during the Ukraine conflict and what may come next. It found that one group known as Sandworm was testing additional ransomware-style capabilities that could be used for attacks on organizations that serve key functions in Ukraine's supply lines. Rolls-Royce has been given funding to build a moon-based nuclear reactor. £2.9 million has been allocated from the UK Space Agency to construct the reactor following a study last year that it also funded. The aim is to provide enough energy for communications, life support and experiments, as well as potentially help power a sustainable home for astronauts while they carry out their work. The goal is to have the nuclear reactor ready by 2029. Let's go to the ads. Coming up, VW beats Tesla to the punch and why your pet might be keeping you up at night. Why not hit rate and follow in the meantime? Welcome back. Volkswagen has beaten Tesla to the punch by unveiling its concept for an affordable electric vehicle. Called the ID2All, it will have a starting price of around €25,000 and an estimated range of 279 miles. The plans were unveiled during an investor event in Germany, and visually the model looks like a sort of Golf electric hatchback. During the presentation, VW outlined a strategy that includes an investment of €180 billion over 5 years in areas including battery production and raw materials. Scientists are concerned that the boom in labs handling deadly germs is not being matched by regulation. A report published by King's College London has found that the number of biosafety level 4 labs, which handle pathogens of the highest risk, that are in operation, under construction or planned has grown significantly in 2 years. But they say this boom has not been accompanied by sufficient oversight. They're calling on those conducting high-risk work to adopt the international standard for biorisk management, as well as for the World Health Organization to develop criteria and guidance for those levels of labs. And finally, the reason you're not getting good sleep at night could be down to your pet. Research by US scientists have found that a dog was associated with greater risk of having a sleep disorder, while cat owners had a higher risk of having leg jerks, also known as restless leg syndrome. However, the study's lead author from Lincoln Memorial University did point out there can also be sleep benefits from pets too. They can also provide a sense of security and companionship, which may result in improvements in levels of anxiety, stress, and depression. You're up to date. Come back at 4 p.m. for the Leader podcast from the Evening Standard. We'll be back on Monday at 1 p.m. See you then.